Good morning and welcome to Jasiri, the show where we don't just talk headlines, we sit in the heart of the story. I'm cheesing this morning because after the really tough topics we've taken on this table over the past weeks, today we'll be looking at something positive for a change. Today we're continuing our conversation on drug abuse in Nigeria. As we said, we had our first discussion with Dr. Dokwan Adedeji. This is not, and we did say at that show that it's not a one-off conversation. We are facing a serious crisis in our hands, and we must continue to shine the spotlight on the issue. And so today, we're flipping the script and putting it in the hands of someone who's lived through drug addiction. But first.
All right, but first, you know the drill. Before we get into today's deeply personal conversation, we are absolutely stoked by how proud our Nigerian ladies are making us. If you don't know, Nigeria Super Falcons are on their way to what looks like another historic win at the 2024-2025 WAFCON. The ladies beat South Africa in a highly watched and tense game. I was on the edge of my seat yesterday. Now it is only Morocco that stands in our way of yet another cup for the ladies. So before we talk to Onyinye Obaro, our sports correspondent in Casablanca, there's another team of Nigerians who have made us very proud.
That's right. You know, I needed this good news, and it's nice to start a show with stuff like this. As Kat said, we're also proud of some Nigerian queens of the track who made history at the African Junior Championships held in Abeokuta. Now, Nigeria is now the first country ever to sweep all the medals in the under-18 and under-20 women's sprinting event in Africa. That's a huge one. In a flawless show of speed and strength, our young sprinters claimed every medal in all 4 events: the under-18 100 and 200 and the under-20 200 and 400 events. We've got some fantastic women to crush on this Wednesday. Yep. Okay, so we'll go now to Onyinye Obaro in Casablanca for some highlights of that match against South Africa. Onyinye, thanks for joining us. Can you hear us? All right, so if you can hear us, just let us know how Morocco is. I mean, you must be really excited about our win yesterday. Please talk us through Nigeria's performance against our fierce rivals, South Africa. How was that like?
It came up as something beautiful for us because I would say we waited for this match. We wanted South Africa, and judging by the choice of the players after they pumped Zambia, they said, let South Africa be our next opponent, please. And their wish came to fruition, and South Africa were the next opponent. They were really happy yesterday after that win. It was a great performance from them. From the first half, Nigeria lost their grip over the game, and we could see that South Africa had the better of them. But at the end of the day, with all 90 minutes, full 90 minutes played, we saw when even Nigeria nearly lost concentration and would have conceded. All thanks to Osinachi Ohale, who did not let the ball go just beyond the goal line. So it was a beautiful one from Osinachi Ohale there. But a fortunate situation that happened to the South African player, Gabriela Salgado, because she got an injury while in play and she had to be stretched out. That really destabilized the South Africans. They were a bit emotional there. Even the coach, Jasiri, in the post-match conference, she says at that time she had to be a mother. She just left the whole rivalry, left the match off her attention, and had to be a mother and had to be concerned about her player who just got injured. And it was a very serious injury, judging by the reactions of the players when they saw that injury and the reactions of the Super Falcons of Nigeria seeing that injury too. We know how many minutes they had to spend on the pitch of play in order to get her wrapped up and then stretch her out of the field. That made the South Africans lose concentration. But the tickets, the final tickets, showing that Mission X is still activated, is still in progress, I think gave the Super Falcons a little bit of joy away from that unfortunate situation. So they were elated yesterday. Normally the Super Falcons will not come over to the mix zone if they have a bad performance, but every one of them wanted to speak at the mix zone because they had a good performance and they were going to the final of this competition, Tolu.
Oh yeah, I just had you call Blessing to look.
That's what the seat does.
I know, yeah, I do miss you, and you look really absolutely beautiful on the streets of Morocco. Anyway, coming back into what we were discussing, how important was Coach Justin Madugu's tactical prowess? You know, how did that work out for us?
It was really important. It worked out so well for us. I think I mixed Blessing's voice with Tolu's voice, but I think they sound alike. But going back to your question, Justin Madugu maintained his starting 11 in the game the one he used against Zambia, and that one worked for us against Zambia. So he repeated the same starting 11, did not make any changes in his starting 11 in that game against South Africa, and it still worked because we saw young bloods, the young players. Nobody would have thought that Asisat Oshoala would be kept on the bench and would not even play a match. You know, with her prowess, with the titles to her name, with her kind of experience, and judging also Francisca Odega, who was not on the sideline because she was injured, so she was not listed part of the team that would go up against South Africa. So nobody would have thought that these players were rested because the young girls were stepping up the place. The likes of Esther Okoronkwo was so good in the forward line. We could see the passes she was making. The captain, I tell you, Rashidat Ajibade carried this team on her shoulder. She's carrying this team on her back, and she has had back-to-back player of the match performance and trophy after every single match because this Kipo, the captain, carries the team at all times. We felt it was a big burden on her, being the fact that we had other senior players in the team when she was given the captain band, but she has proven that she's one player that is a leader on the pitch and off the pitch for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Justin Madugu was able to go up with his own tactics, but at all times we saw that Jasiri Elise, and a woman for that matter, I think got the better of Justin Madugu in the tactics he deployed on the day. But our players were determined. They kept fighting even after conceding that penalty, and that will be the first goal the Super Falcons has conceded in this competition. But all good for the fact that they won. That can write off whatever pain they feel after conceding that penalty there.
What should Nigerians look forward to in the final against Morocco? I believe it's Sunday. I know because Nigerians are quite stoked. They believe that we are going to take home the cup. But what should we look forward to in this final against Morocco?
Oh, Catherine, nobody wants Morocco. I do not want Morocco, but we got Morocco at the end of the day because Morocco, it's kind of a revenge mission. When I sampled the opinions of the players at the mixed zone yesterday to say, who do you want, Ghana, a Jollof Derby, or Morocco, who's the host nation? They said Ghana, who doesn't want a Jollof Derby? Everybody wants a Jollof Derby, you know, for bragging rights, but they want Morocco. Why? Because it's like a revenge mission. Morocco ousted the Super Falcons of Nigeria at the semi-final of the 2022 Women's African Cup of Nations, and a lot happened during that match. You know, when you're playing the host nation, there's this fear of officiating not going your way, and that's what every single Nigerian fan understand yesterday were worried about, that if we have Morocco, it seems the officiating will not go our way, because we saw the officiating against South Africa. It was looking a bit concerning because the referee on the day, there's some calls where a lot of Nigerian fans were agitated due to those final decisions, and she gave only one yellow card yesterday to Alimato Ainde. They were a bit, upbeat about that decision from the referee. So playing the host nation, you have the fans, the battle wage. You also have the officiating sometimes not going your way because they are the host nation. But Nigeria wants it. They're in this for that kind of situation. They want to really thump the Moroccans. They're there for revenge for the fact that they ousted them in the 2022 Women's African Cup of Nations, of course, relegating them to the third place match at the 2022 edition. But now they get to face face them in the final. What they did against Zambia to shut their mouths, what they did against the defending champions to shut their mouths, they want to do against Morocco in Rabat. Now, Nigeria has been playing in Casablanca, the Ladobi Zuli Stadium, from their group stages to the quarterfinal to the semi-final, and Ladobi Zuli has become a home ground for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. But this match, they have to go to Rabat. They have to take a 6-hour drive, so it's going to be 12 hours going and coming back to Casablanca, their home base, for this final. But they are in for this. They said, we were prepared for this, we were made for this, and we're going to bring the 10th title back home to Nigeria. Catherine.
Honestly, I'm actually looking forward to seeing us win, because I believe that we can. And talking about the hopes and beliefs that we have for Nigerians right now, what do you think the atmosphere is like for Nigerians who are there witnessing and, you know, just hoping and praying that this time is our time? Whether or not we got Morocco, we don't care. We're going to win. How are they waiting for this victory?
They cannot wait, Blessings. They cannot wait. They're saying, one of them, when I sampled his opinion, he says that we dominated Casablanca. We showed them that Casablanca is ours. We would show them that Rabat also is ours. The new capital of Nigeria is Rabat, because we're going to go there and dominate and teach them how football is played. So much confidence coming from just one fan after that game against South Africa. The Nigerian fans are pumped. In fact, they've said they're going to double the numbers that will come over to the Rabat Stadium.
All right, unfortunately, well, thankfully, we've been able to get the feel, at least how Nigerians are feeling and anticipating the victory, and we're hoping that we get the victory. But thank you so much to Onyechi Obaru, who joined us live from Casablanca to give us the updates.
Yes, I was so excited. You know, he just has a way of pulling you into the game. Like, I should just pack my bags and here I come. You know, thank you so much. It's quite interesting to see you every time. Anyway, this is a moment of joy, hope, and a reminder that young Nigerian women are not just running, they are flying. To the girls on the podium, to their coaches, to the Super Falcons, arguably the continent's most decorated team, we see you, we celebrate you, and we are so proud of you. We're not just winning races and tournaments, you're setting the pace for a whole generation. But before I turn fully into a cheerleader, I was just waiting for my pom-poms. Let's head for a break. Up next is a conversation with Ola Asags, fondly known as Auntie Ola. She is an addiction counselor who has spent the last 2 decades helping people heal from the pain of drug and substance use. But before she was a helper, she was the one who needed help. Stay with us, because beyond the habit, from addiction to advocacy, is where we'll be talking about. So stay with us.
Welcome back to Jasiri. So today, we confront a crisis that affects an estimated 14 to 14.4 million Nigerians. That's nearly 1 in 7 adults, according to the latest UNODC and NDLEA data. So it's a silent epidemic spilling into every corner for society. Young people struggling with opiates like tramadol and cough syrups, rising cases of psychiatric breakdown and community trust eroding under the weight of addiction. With few rehab centers, few and far between, treatment becomes nearly inaccessible for most. Meanwhile, stigma keeps many from seeking help. So joining us today is someone who knows this journey firsthand, a former addict who not only survived the cycle of addiction, but overcame it and now helps others break free as a drug counselor. Our guest today is an addiction counselor with over 2 decades of experience working with persons with alcohol, drugs, and substance use disorder. And over the years, she has helped hundreds of people overcome their addiction and destructive behavior. So it's a pleasure to welcome Ola Asags to Jasiri. Welcome to the show.
You're very welcome.
You're very welcome.
It's great to have you join us.
I like your name.
Yes, I was going to say
Jasiri. Shakiri. Oh, wow.
Do you know, it seemed like an abbreviation for like a nickname.
Yeah,
Asags.
Is it an abridged version of something?
No, it's not.
It's just Asags?
Yeah, Asags.
Maybe I'll look for a man named
Ola Asags.
Mrs. Asags.
It's bad enough that, you know, your surname sounds Kenyan and East African.
It does sound Kenyan and East African.
There's somebody in this office that only found out a year ago we worked together for almost 4 years.
You're Nigerian.
Nigeria. It thought the whole, you know, Africa first, bringing Africans. But anyways, let's get to the conversation. You're very welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So I would like for you to take us back to how the journey started. Your journey with drugs, basically. What was it that you were running from? You know, what kind of solace were you looking for when it started?
Well, it all started with, I think I'll call it curiosity. And then wanting to belong, wanting to be like somebody else, wanting to be in a particular group, you know, a particular person, you know, and that's how it started. I started with cigarettes, you know, had an auntie who used to smoke cigarettes, you know, she lives in England at that time, so I wanted to be like her when I grew up.
Cool.
How old were you at this point?
Maybe like 10, 12, thereabouts. You know, no, I just started practicing, like I would just go to the back, you know, the uncompleted building, you know, behind my house. I'll just take the bottles, you know, the ones that she had smoked, and planning that when I have
Money.
when I go out, or when I have access to go out of
The country.
the house, you know, I would
Really get into it.
so
Wow.
that was how it started.
You know, I like to talk because let's say that I do know addiction a bit close myself. Maybe alcohol addiction and drug substance use also is close to home for me. Once addiction sets in, you know, it's so difficult. It's so challenging. It's not just a physical toll it takes on your body. It takes off like an emotional one. Some would even describe it like some kind of bondage. So how would you say...
It takes everything away from you.
It takes a lot out of people.
Yes.
You know, how did it really affect you? Like emotionally, your circle, your individual life, you know, all these nuances, how did it play out for you?
Like I said, it affected everything. It affected my relationship with my family. It affected the relationship with friends. You know, nobody wanted to have anything to do with me anymore. I sold everything I had.
Wow.
I lived under the bridge of Ikeja. Yeah. Yeah.
So what kind of substance were you addicted to at that time?
Everything.
Huh?
Yeah, I started from cigarettes, and I went into, you know, alcohol is where I come from. Is,
Yeah, of course.
It's like water.
Yeah. So I was doing alcohol, and I was doing, I started with cigarette, like I said, and then marijuana, and then from marijuana I went to heroin, from heroin I went to cocaine, you know.
Okay, so one article I read describes a growing trend of young people using opioids, cough syrups, even cannabis to escape pain or pressure. So for you, what was your gateway, and how were you getting these substances if they were illegal?
Initially, I had this boyfriend, yeah, who was a user and a courier, and you know, he made me believe that he was doing me a favor, and every other girl, it was a ladies' man, every other girl wanted to be with him, so I felt special, and then to remain in that circle, so I had to do everything that.
Because it was a privilege.
Yeah, that was how I started doing cocaine and heroin.
Wow. Okay, so I think that I'm curious to know, was there a moment, you know, within that period that you realized that you had gone from occasionally doing drugs to dependency?
For every drug addicted person, there's always a sober moment. There's always a time when you know, you realize yourself, you're like, this is what I'm doing. How can I, you know, get myself out of this, you know, and all that. But because even when you're still, you know, taking it, yeah, you still feel that way. But coming out, you know, is a problem because of the addiction, the power of the addiction, so to speak. We call it Jonesing. The withdrawal symptoms. You know, you be sick, your eyes will be running, the nose will be running, body, body pain. You feel like you have malaria. It's not malaria. You can't take a shower. You can't eat. You can't do anything, And you'll be there for like 1 week.
Very tough.
Very tough.
So that's why it's easy to just fall back in.
Yes. And when you just take a little, everything goes away.
So to say.
Wow. So
everything goes away instantly.
Wow. So I am curious because at what age did it graduate for you? Because I know maybe you experimented when you were young. That for me is inconsequential. Well, at what age would you say this addiction stuck for you? What age range?
I was in England. It was in England.
You were in England then?
Yeah.
So like, at what age range were you at that time?
18, 20, between 18 and 22.
And 22?
Yeah.
Oh, that means you were quite young. So I would want to know, when did you know that you were stuck and that this thing, I'm depending on it, and the possibility of getting out becomes something that was gnawing at you?
Yeah.
Because I know how these things can be. At a very young age, there's so many insecurities a young woman has that you are trying to hide from, you don't want your family to know, all those other things. How did you know that now you are stuck and I need to find a way out?
I can't tell you the particular year, but there was, a time when there was problem in England.
Okay.
And we had to come back.
Come back
to
home.
Nigeria. Because the people that were couriering for the guy were caught. Some of them were caught. And then, they will start to talk. So we had to, come back. And then when we came back, we had to start buying because we didn't have supply.
So when you say we, who are you? You and the guy. Were you married to him, or it was just
no, we were just living lovers. Yeah.
So would you say, let me take you back to your time in England, would you say that was a fertile ground for you? Like, being there, did you feel it was liberating, like finally I'm in a place where I probably didn't need to hide like here? Or it was just the same unilaterally, the same way that you were comporting yourself here is the same way you were in the...
It was just like, you're having more fun, big boy, big girl thing, you just want to, do your thing, and there was money, enough money, because,
young money is
there was money, so I didn't feel any, bad at all that I was doing something wrong here.
So, what would you now say when you came back to Nigeria? Because I know that the playing field abroad and the playing field in Nigeria is a different terrain. And here, you will say that even substance has grades. So what was it like when you got back into Nigeria that you knew that I needed to make a change? Because if it's the same circumstance you were in England and you were still with the same person now, when did you now realize that, I think this is too much?
When we came back, of course, because we had to start buying, at some point he left me. Moved on with other girls, and I had to start selling my things.
To
sustain the habit. From there I knew that okay, you're going that one chance. But because of the power of the addiction, like I said, you don't see it as, you just want to live for it. And then the pain that he left me also added to it. And then the same person who introduced me into drug addiction or drug usage also introduced my younger brother, who was doing his master's at that time, into drug trafficking. And then my brother trafficked, he was caught. The same people went into prison to kill him. So everybody in my family saw me as the person that killed my brother. So that pain was also there.
Wow.
With the fact that he also left me. So it was like
double jeopardy.
I didn't have anything to live for, anymore. So let me just go on and
So, I mean, in your case, I wouldn't say that the fear of stigma per se, because it wasn't entirely secret, but would you say at any point that that loneliness was one of the things that made you comfortable, dwelling there? Because I feel like if there was a little more acceptance, maybe you would have considered, what, this habit is not helping. But then at some point, especially the fact that your family started, seeing you as the cause of the problem at the time, would you say that and then your then boyfriend left you, so would you say that loneliness contributed to you not wanting to leave it?
Yes, sure. And besides that, you don't have any good friends anymore. Yeah. It's only those kind of friends that you have.
Yeah.
So you're comfortable with them. Mm-hmm. So having any other friend that wouldn't accept you or take you the way you are, you don't want to even go close to them.
All right, guys, let's take a short break here. If you just joined us, we're talking beyond the habit, from addiction to advocacy, and Ola Asags is our guest, a soft-spoken woman. We are gleaning everything we can off of her in terms of battling drug addiction. This is Jasiri. We'll be right back.
All right, it's still Jasiri, a very emotional conversation we've been having. If you're just joining us, well, you've missed a little bit of it, but you haven't missed everything. Good thing the show is still on. Now, it's one thing to survive addiction, but it's another to return to that same battlefield. And this time, not as a victim, but as a guide. In this next part of the conversation, we'll step into the heart of Ola Asags' transformation, how she went from hitting rock bottom to becoming a voice of hope for others. We'll hear what inspired her to become a counselor, how she connects with those who still struggle with it, and what it really means to hold space for healing when you've walked that hard road yourself. Ola Asags, thank you so much for still being here.
Thank you.
So you said something, before I ask my question, you said something while we're on break that when you tell the younger people that you've done this before, they don't believe.
No, they don't.
How do you, I mean, from your lenses, yes, how do you see them? What do you hope that they can, like, how do you hope that you can, just let them know that this thing you're doing, I've been there, done that, it doesn't pay?
First hand, when I tell them how long I've been clean for 21 years.
Wow.
Thank you. And they kind of, 21 years or more, it's not loud though. I said, yeah, so if I can do it, I'm sure you can do it. And I'm sure that you have not done quarter of what I've done. Because I wake up in the morning, I have 1 gram of heroin, one nose, 1 gram in the other nose before I can get up to even take a shower. And I'm sure you guys are not even, what you have now is just synthetic drugs.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys are not even enjoying, you are just killing yourself.
So, talking about the stigma, how did you face the stigma, especially as a woman?
I still face it till date, but it doesn't bother me anymore. Because...
Okay. You still face it till date. How? Where?
People still don't want to come with you when they know that. In fact, okay, for example, I'm here right now, and I'm sure that somebody in my family is angry that I'm here. Like, you don't do now,
Yeah.
But I don't care, because this is my past.
Yeah.
And I am using myself to help other people, to come out. And I'm fulfilled doing that. So I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, I love that.
Nigeria is said to have fewer than 20 government-run rehabilitation centers nationwide for a population of over 200 million. Did you have access to professional help in your time when it comes to recovery?
No.
So how did you even? You never told us the path. How you walk the path?
Yeah. Well, there was Kadam. Kadam is a rehab home under the Redeemed Church. Yeah, and the rehabilitation is free. So at that time, there was Kadam. They used to come to the joints, the drug joints, to evangelize, to ask people to come and come out of
So you went
drugs.
to...
So I went myself. I went there myself.
And that was where your recovery was?
Yes, yes.
How was that easy for you? Well, not easy, but like, how were you able to achieve that? Seeing how, I mean, it's not always a rosy journey. There are times when you, like you said, you come to your senses that I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but then you relapse, right? You go back to it. So how did you now decide, you know what, this is it, I'm not doing it again? And was it that you never looked back, or did you still struggle?
Yeah.
Let me tell you how I stopped. There was this day, I did, we call it section.
Yeah.
Overnight. You know, from morning till morning. And
That kind of session?
yeah. And then I spent, I think it was 75,000 or 85,000 thereabouts. And in the morning, I suddenly realized that I hadn't eaten, because drugs shrinks your appetite.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, 75,000 to 85,000 on drugs, dollars on drugs. Wow.
And the guy that was selling it to me, and I said, oh boy, borrow me 500 naira, let me eat, and you know, go out hustling to look for money again. And the guy said to me, I bet my auntie, you know, and look at this auntie. Emi mo ba ti eje ni. Let me spoil your life. And I looked at him. The guy was not up to my megad in my house. And I had spent money overnight.
Yeah.
I didn't buy anything. I didn't even eat anything. Oh boy. I said, no, I have to stop this thing.
So that was it.
And I came outside and I said a prayer. I wasn't born again. Well, I'm from an Anglican family by birth, yeah. So I just said, God, now you know, I don't know how you're going to do this thing, but I just have to stop this thing. And he had that little prayer that I said, because everything that I smoked went out of me. So I just wanted to, you know, have another fix. And another guy there saw me and said, that one put me for work again. So me, I tell you, say, this guy who you say now your customer, no be better person. You know, and he called me to a corner and then gave me drugs on credit.
On credit.
Worth about 10,000 naira.
At that time, you still hadn't eaten?
I hadn't eaten, so he gave me cash of 2,000 naira.
To eat? Then continue the drugs?
So I ate. Okay. After eating, I took the drugs, you know, and then I now went out looking for money. And then I met this guy, one of those guys that I bought ticket for a long time ago, like, sis, I get visa, but I no get money for tickets. Okay. And I gave money for tickets.
Yes.
Me, I don't even remember the guy safe. So, on Allen Junction, Allen Stroke baby. Sis, now you be this. Why you gonna look like this now? Hey, I don't define you now. Put in his pocket, gave me $300. Sis, don't be your money be this, but because I don't like as I see you so, I was not waiting to listen to whatever he was saying.
You just saw the money and
so happy.
Oh boy, now what for you? Fear. Enter boss, we like say the boss.
No fast race.
No fast race. You jump down enter Okada. Like Okada, no, they walk well. Happy and way straight. God there. But as I was going, for you to know that God had heard that prayer.
Yeah.
As I was going, I saw a crowd. Then there used to be these containers they use, you know, to do dustbins.
Oh yes. Yeah.
They put it on the bus stops.
Yeah.
I saw people gathered, you know, there. And I wanted to know what was happening, but oh boy, that money with the pocket. I needed to, you know. So I just didn't. I went, and the guy saw me immediately. I flashed on the dollar, and body, head shake, follow me straight, took me to a hotel, paid of course with my money, paid for the hotel, and then bought me malt. Bought me malt, bought milk, bought ugu.
Because you had seen dollars now.
So he did it for me. I drank and then put the drugs on the table. There, Mr. Beans was the only eatery then. Put it on the table. We bought jollof rice and chicken. You know, I started smoking and everything. But everything I was smoking wasn't
entrance.
You know, I wanted to see what was happening in that crowd. So I just said, guy, I dey call, wait a beg. I came out and I pushed my way through the crowd and I saw it was the body of one of the girls that were smoking together. She died. They broke her bones and stuffed her into a Ghana must go bag and dumped her at that refuse bin, that bus stop, and dogs and pigs were eating out her intestines. That was it for me. That was it for me. I've seen people die in the joint. Drug overdose, police coming to raid and shoot, and people, you know. But that particular one, she was the only child of her parents, you know, and she came from Port Harcourt. And my sister used to tell me, I remember she used to tell me, if you don't stop this thing, you go die. And if you die, I just dey pray, make you die where I go see your dead body peak. It was there, my brain. It stopped. So when I saw that girl body, I knew that her parents were not going to see her body. So I didn't want to die like that, like a chicken. So I started running.
You didn't go back to that room?
Never.
You were running?
I just started running.
Where did you run to?
I just started running. I didn't know where I was going to. I had run for like 30 minutes before I had to tell myself, okay, stop now. Okay, where will they go? So I stopped. I now remembered Kadam. Every addicted person has a flyer. They used to carry the give the flyer. So somewhere they wear like 3 trousers now, because I can sleep anywhere. So I brought the
was in there.
Yes, I brought the flyer and checked the address. It was somewhere in Akme Road. So I went there. And
that's how you took yourself there?
Yes.
Okay. Bon.
Wow. I like to just every maybe I would say from my own experience, everybody that I've seen who have been a recovered addict had this epiphany or like a spiritual moment that they would say actually took them away from drug addiction.
You know, sometimes we on our own would conduct services by ourselves. You know, sing praises, and even while you are still, yeah.
Wow. All right. So this is it for me. I think it's what I'm just trying to chronicle your life, your experiences. So from patient to practitioner, and from addiction to advocacy. Okay. So from where you sit as a counselor, let's examine Nigeria's drug abuse problem. How bad is it? Like, you've been through so much. Okay. So from where you sit, like I said, coming from where you're coming from and what you see now, how bad is it?
120%.
Worse.
You have 9-year-old, you have 10-year-old.
Full drug addict.
Yes. Prostitution, drug addiction, everything. I go to the drug joints to evangelize, to tell people to come out. And each time I'm there, I cry, I shed tears, because I see lives wasting. I see children wasting, and it's very painful.
I want to ask, how tough is the process, the healing process? Because several times you hear people say it's almost impossible for drug addicts because of that relapse. They can't see that they can ever get out of it. How tough was it for you?
I wouldn't say it was very tough, because it was something that I had made up my mind. It was determined that, this thing, I don't want it anymore. I don't want to see my friends and be running and be hiding. I don't want to wake up in the morning and I'm looking for money to go and food that habit, not to eat. No. I had made up my mind. So it was terrible, you know. In fact, I had hallucination and all that, you know. But I was determined, like, it's better I die trying than, you know, still be in this thing. So I would say it wasn't too hard, you know, for me.
How was, because I'm thinking back as you're speaking, I'm thinking back at when you said that the guy you helped buy his ticket was saying he doesn't like how you were looking. How were you looking that would have made, like...
Now I'm horrible, right?
Yes.
I was half her size.
No. Listen, there is already one.
Yes, they don't have a bath. You don't know if you're bathing, your hygiene is out.
No, but funny enough, me, I used to bath. I used to bath very well.
Because you mentioned that you will sleep at different places.
Yes, but I sleep on that bridge for Kejan, an hour for you. I get my clothes now. An hour for you. I get plenty things where they take cover. I will cover myself very well. When I wake up in the morning, I go find where I go pay money to bath. When I bath, I wear skirt suit, I wear trousers suit.
How you they tell?
But why I be like this?
Now they tell us the thing.
Now they tell us.
But me are the one that say, how that time, how you they tell us the money? Because we they hear at the hustle the money. How you they tell us the money?
That one for you. I dey go church now.
What do you say to them in church?
What you go tell them for there?
Plenty things there we talk now. Pastor, Pastor don't come. Good morning, sir. Good morning. The next thing, don't begin cry. That don't come off for face. I have 4 children. My husband have left me since.
Oh, child.
Just tell them a story like that. You're supposed to be actress now.
If you see somebody for road safe, good evening, sir. Good evening. How are you? Fine, sir. Sir, please, can I ask you a favor? When you see as you did, you can't speak good English.
Please, John.
Go be like say true this person.
They talk.
I came to see my brother.
You don't come meet
I come from Kafancha. Come see my brother for here. You say from Kafancha. He need the money. So
when they will give you small money. So you go just beg like that.
Now so they cannot be beg. Now Chinese begging.
Chinese begging.
Well, I'm actually very curious. I mean, from your perspective now, what myths about drug abuse would you say that you wish people can unlearn? Because the recovery process is not just individual. I mean, in your case, you had to struggle alone, but imagine how easier it would be if everybody, you know, the community would come together to help people that are struggling. So what are those myths that you wish people would just unlearn, that this thing not be so it be? Do you understand? It's not as you think.
And then what are parents refusing to take note of? Because this thing, you said a 9-year-old, from 9-year-old, that one first off me, 9-year-old. So it means, what are the parents doing? Okay, you are not present here. What are the parents refusing to take note of, in addition to her question?
First of all, they are refusing to accept. First of all, number one.
Yeah.
They don't accept. They are in denial. And they are not friends with their children. You have to be friends with your children to be able to know what he or she is going through. For she or he to be able to trust you and tell you things. Because whether you like it or not, they also have issues like adults have. Everything is stress for them. For children nowadays, go and read the stress. Go and watch play is stress. Everything is stress. So if you are not their friend, you are not able to, you know, see those things, those signs. Sometimes it is mommy. When they are rebellious, when they are doing things, they are trying to say, mommy or daddy, I need you, see me. You know, sometimes a child wants to talk to you. I say, hey, I'm coming, I'm late for work. You will not get that talk again. Never ever. Because by the time you come back, he or she may not tell you.
That's true. And even when you remind them, you say, okay, you know what, forget about it.
You know, and it's gone. Can you tell me your question again, please?
Yeah, so I mean,
Myths to unlearn.
yeah, what are the things that people need to unlearn, especially the community? You know, it's just the same way they see some diseases that are not contagious and, you know, want to stay away from them.
You should see a drug addict as a sick person, somebody who has malaria or diabetic or whatever. You know, they should see that they have a problem. They should see that they need help. It's something that is beyond them. You know, when I talk, they say it's because I've been there. I said, no. This person is sick. Person will carry money, go buy within 1 kilo, not be sickness.
Yeah.
The person is sick. He will not eat. He will go and buy that thing first. He will not take a shower. He will not sleep. The person is sick. So they should see that this is somebody who is sick and that needs help. And they should stop that discrimination. That one kills me.
Or a child is battling that and they hide the child.
They hide the child.
Yeah.
I know parents who buy drugs for the children because they do not want Mr. So to see or know. If they better, they smoke am for inside house. Yes. Yes.
You know, we've heard reports about addiction that is growing fastest among young people and women. Why do you think that is happening? If you had the ears of policymakers, like say you sit down now and they say this is not government, this is not Ola, what do you think we can constructively do that can help?
Advocacy, a lot of advocacy. You people are giving me all this time to talk. When we go out to talk, sometimes they give us 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm talking about a story of 18 years. I was an addict for 18 years. How can I tell you my story in 5 minutes? First of all, let's talk about this thing. Let us sound it. Let people know about this thing. It's a problem. Let us stop hiding from it. It is a problem. It's a big one at that. Right now, the girls are more than the boys.
In this, we saw this.
Yes. I can tell you that. The girls are more than the boys. Most of our children that we think that they are in school, they are not in school. They are in the drug joints. I don't want to start mentioning names.
Yeah.
They are in the drug joints. I was in a drug joint one day. I saw a mother come to pick her child with army officer. The girl refused. She was crying. I felt the pain of the mother. See, if you see a parent that has an addicted child, the pain is worse than.
Say that to me. I know it's tough. I had an auntie who had 3 children who are all drug addicts. In fact, she all her wealth, everything she had, went into the rehabilitation of her children, and none of them survived it.
What do you mean none of them survived it?
They all died in the habit.
Okay. I think it's a conversation we probably will have again. Because it's not, even us, I think, it's even sinking in, especially when you're revealing the statistics that we see and you say girls are more than boys
right now. Yes.
It is a conversation that we will continue to have, but for now we want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. Oh, you will come and sit on this table again. It's not.
No problem.
Trust me, we haven't had a complete conversation. We would have this conversation again. Thank you so much, Ola. Again, today we've had a story of pain, and also, but also one of power in a country where millions are silently struggling with drug abuse, where treatment is scarce and stigma still runs deep. Our guest reminds us that recovery is not only possible, it is real, and it can become a lifeline for others. Nigeria's drug crisis is far from over, but every counselor who has walked the path, every survivor who turns back to help becomes part of the solution. We need systems that heal rather than punish, and voices that carry truth even when it's hard to hear. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. We'll see you again tomorrow.